Okay, so percent change. So we're going to do, I'm going to write a little formula for you guys here. It'll be the percent increase or the percent decrease. And it's going to look like, we're going to put new, kind of like the new price, minus the original. And that'll be divided by the original. Actually, let me erase this again. Let me use this line here as my fraction bar. So again, this is going to be new minus original over the original. And then to get this, if you want to just type this in your calculator, to get this to work properly, you're going to need to put some parentheses on here. So if you just want to type the whole thing in your calculator, you can do that. And then times 100. And all that times 100 does right there is that just changes it from a decimal to a percent. Okay? So if you do new minus original over the original, that'll give you the answer as a decimal. And when you multiply by 100, that just changes it to a percent. Because when you multiply by 100, that just moves the decimal 2 places to the right. Thank you. Okay, so let's do these examples. So it says find the percent change in example 1 there. So it's like the 8 is the original. So that's original. And this would be the new. So it's changing from 8 to 10. So kind of like if something was $8 and then the price increased to $10. Something like that. So let's just set up this little formula I gave you right here. So we're just going to go the new, which is 10, minus the original, which was 8, over the original, which was 8, and then times 100. And again, if you type that in just like I wrote it right there on your calculator, if you just did 10 minus 8 divided by 8 times 100, you would actually get the wrong answer. Because if you look at this, by order of operations, it would do this division right here before the subtraction. So only the 8 would get divided by the 8. So what you've got, if you want to type the whole thing in all at once, again, you got to remember to put these parentheses in here. Or you can just get the answer for the numerator first and then divide by 8 and then multiply by 100. So you could do it that way. You could just do 10 minus 8 is 2, and then do 2 divided by 8 and then times 100. Either way. Does anybody got calculators? What'd you guys get?
25%.
Yeah, you should get 25%. Oops. So it's 25%. And since it increased from 8 to 10, it's a percent increase. So it's a 25% increase. All right, let's look at 2. Same thing again. So this should go pretty quick. So this one, the new one is 30, right? It went from 75 to 30. So we're going to do the new one minus the original one over the original one, put some parentheses in there, and multiply by 100. So if you do 30 minus 75, that's a negative 45 divided by 75 and times 100. You get negative 60. And again, these are percentages, okay? So you got to put the percent symbol on there.
Isn't that the same thing as saying a 60% decrease?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it comes out to be negative 60, and again, this is a percent, so you want to put the percent symbol on there. But really, all that negative is telling you is that it decreased, right? It decreased from 30, or I should say it decreased from 75 to 30. So if it's decreasing from 75 to 30, this is going to be a percent decrease. And all that's what that negative is really implying. So you don't really need that negative there. So it's just a 60% decrease. And then the third one. So what about that one? Is that an increase or a decrease? It's a decrease. It's going from 50 to 11, right? And so again, you're gonna come out with a negative answer, but again, all that means is that it's decreasing. So let's set this one up real quick. So we're gonna do the new one, which is 11, minus the original one is 50, all over the original, which was 50. Throw that numerator in parentheses and then multiply by 100. So let's see, that one you would do 11 minus 50. That'd be what? Negative 39. Excuse me. And then divide that by 50. And then times 100. So I get negative 78. So it's a negative 78%. But again, the fact that it's negative, that just means it's a 78% decrease. So I'm just going to take that negative off of there. Any questions so far? Excuse me. All right, let's look at the rest of these problems. How many do we got to do? So we've got 1, 2, 3, we got 4 more. That's it, right? No, 5 more. All right, so the next part, let's see, what do we got? Number 4, it says find the result when 12 is increased by 50%. So here's 4. So all we're going to do is we're just going to find 50% of 12 and then add it on to 12. So what is 50% as a decimal? That would be 0.50 or just 0.5, right? So you got to remember, when you do these problems, you're still going to be changing the percents into decimals. So 50% is 0.5. And then we're just going to take 50% of 12 and then add it on to 12. So to get 50% of 12, we're just going to do 12 times 0.5. So what's 12 times a half? That's 6. So that's how much, that's 50% of 12. All right? But then we're going to increase 12 by that amount. So we're going to write 12 plus 6 equals 18. All right? So find 50% of 12 and then add that on to 12. All right, next one's the same kind of thing. So number 5. All right, this time we got 55 is decreased by 60%. So what's 60% as a decimal? Yep, that's just 0.60 or 0.6. So the first thing we're going to do is find 60% of 55. So we're just going to do 55 times 0.6. So 55 times 0.6. Yep, that's 33. And then we're just gonna decrease 55 by that amount. So we're gonna do 55, am I gonna add or subtract? Yep, good. And I think that gives me what, 22? So then all we did on this one is we just found 60% of 55, and then we subtracted that number from 55. You guys good on those two? So again, just find 60% of that number, so multiply that number by 0.6, and then since it's decreasing by 60%, you have to subtract that 33 from the 55. Duane, you good now? All right, so we just got 6, 7, and 8 to go. So let's see. That's probably about the best I can do on this. Okay. So it's because it costs $35 to get a ticket into an amusement park. And then senior citizens receive a 20% discount. So they want to know how much do the senior citizens have to pay. So kind of the same idea. We're going to find 20% of 20% of $35. And then are we going to add that or subtract that? We're going to find 20% of $35. And then are we going to add or subtract that? Yeah, we're going to subtract that off of the $35 because it's a discount, right? So then 20%, that is what as a decimal? 0.2. So then we're just going to go $35 times 0.2. That'll give us 20%. So 35 times 0.2. That's 7. So that's the amount of the discount. So then how do we find what the senior citizens pay? Subtract that from the original, which is 35. So then you take the original ticket price, which is 35, and subtract off the $7, and that'll leave you $28. Does that make sense, you guys? So again, you're just finding 20% of the original ticket price, and then just subtracting that off of the original ticket price. I think number 7, I'll leave that for last. So let's do 8. So 8. So 8 says, let's see, the wholesale cost of a DVD is $7, and then the store owner is going to mark that up 85% to sell it. So what's 0.85 as a decimal? Or did I just say it? What's 85% as a decimal? What's that? 0.85. Yep, good. 0.85. So we're just going to find 85% of the $7. So we're just going to go 7 times 0.85. So that gives us, that's $5.95. And then since it's a markup, are we going to add or subtract? Yeah, we're just going to add that to the original price, which was $7. So we're going to do $7 plus $5.95. And that gives us, what is that, $12.95? Yeah, so again, you just find 85% of the $7 and then you just add that on to the $7. Bless you. This is the last one there, number 7. So number 7 is a little bit different. Notice the last two answers, like number 6 and number 8, those answers were in dollars and cents, right? But number 7, we're looking for the percent. Okay? Over here it says, what was the percent discount? And so what that really is when it asks what was the percent discount, that's the same thing as a percent decrease. So really, this right here is the same thing as the word, that's the same thing as decrease. So really, this is the same as the first 3 problems that we did. It's, it just doesn't say, excuse me, it doesn't say from $52 to $31.20 like the first 3 did, but that's all it really is. So what I'm trying to say is, like, this was the original price right here. So that's the original. And then this is the new price. That's the sale price. So really, this one sets up just like the first 3 problems. So we're just going to do the new 3120 minus the original, which is $52, and then over the original, which was $52, and we're going to multiply that by 100. And then we're going to remember to put that in parentheses also. I don't know if you guys can see that times 100 in there very well. It's supposed to say times 100. Okay, so we'll just put that in a calculator. So we'll do 3120 minus 52 divided by 52 times 100. I get negative 40. So that's a negative 40. And again, we're looking for a percent here, so you got to put a percent symbol on it. But again, the negative is just telling you that it's a percent decrease. So I guess we could take that negative off of there. It's just a 40% decrease or 40% discount. And that's it. I think we got them all. Any questions on any of those? Let me see if I can get this recording to stop here.